Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to share with you how I fixed my broken nail. So I did break the nail of my index finger like half an hour before I wanted to record another gel polish tutorial. So I was like literally in tears and really upset about it because I'm just really happy with the length of my nails and I really didn't want to cut them all down. So my husband came with a great idea, like, you still have nail tips you never use, because I have like enormous length of my own on my natural nails. So he was like, just use one of those tips or just make it work. I'm sure you can do it. So this is just me trying it out for the first time, and here you can actually see like the tip, it just totally ripped off while screwing on the cap of my laundry detergent, like super random. I was just doing laundry, I was almost done, and my tip just flew off doing nothing. But yeah, let's just scoop it all out of the way, and I am going to show you how I fix my nail for the first time in life ever with a false tip. So I bought these tips like years ago, and I actually wanted to use them as like weird looking teeth for like a Halloween kind of look or something like that. But I'm just going to try and see what tip fits me best. I had no idea what to look for. The only thing I knew is that it shouldn't be like too loose, and it would be a little better to take one which is a little bit more like snug and a little bit more tight, and a little bit more, how do you say that? A little bit more tighter and form-fitting, apart from being too loose, if you know what I mean. So you might want to take one that's a little bit smaller than the one that would fit perfectly. At least that's what I have learned from watching YouTube videos all of these years. So this is the tip I am going to use. It's just a natural tip. It's not a clear one or anything like that. So yeah, first up I want to clean the nail and get rid of the nail polish I still had on. And sorry for the chipped nail polish on my other fingers, by the way. I was going to record another tutorial after this. So I'm just going to take some lint-free wipes with some pure acetone and just getting rid of all of that excess or like leftover nail polish, and just see how damaged the nail actually is. I do have to say my nail is really dry, but that is because of the acetone. Acetone is really dehydrating, so if my nail looks kind of weird, that is because it is really dry and dehydrated. But yeah, I'm just going to file my nail in a little bit more of a better shape so the tip will fit better. And I'm just using, I think it's a 180 grit file for that, just being really softly and gently because there was a lot of pressure on the nail while breaking it, and you don't want to damage it even more. I'm also just pushing back my cuticles with my own natural nail, nothing harsh or anything, because I don't want to put any extra stress on the nail plate. So here I'm just checking to see how that tip is going to fit, and I am filing down those edges a little bit because they were a little bit too sharp, and it actually does fit better when I file down these edges a little bit and just get rid of those points. You don't want to file off too much, because if you file off too much, you won't have a big enough surface to actually give enough strength and like surface to adhere to your natural nail. So yeah, here you can see me fitting it once more and just making sure that my own natural nail, or at least the tip that I had left, is like the decent shape and it will fit perfectly into that nail tip. And you can use any nail tip if you want to. I just chose these because I had these laying around and I didn't want to wait for like 3 weeks for other tips to arrive, which I also ordered after this at AliExpress. But yeah, just a natural one. You can go for a clear one as well. Just do whatever you want to. And here you can see me just roughing it, or just making sure I don't have any natural shine left on the natural nail plate, as well as buffing up the surface where we're going to apply the false nail tip onto the nail. So here I'm just taking a little bit of like 96% rubbing alcohol and just making sure there is no oil or dust or anything left on the nail, so the tip will fit and just stay on perfectly. Then I'm taking a little bit nail glue and I'm just applying that to the edge of the nail tip. And you can see me struggling here trying to apply that nail tip with my left hand. I am a right-handed person, so everything on my right hand I have to do with my left hand. So working with your non-dominant hand, I have like thought myself working with my left hand a lot, but since this is my first time making or like fixing the length of one of my nails, it was kind of a struggle. But just make sure you press it down and keep it in one place for a little while before you release your pressure, just to make sure that the tip is onto your nail and it won't go anywhere. So then that nail is way too long, so we're going to cut it down a little bit. And I got these nippers, or these like scissors, I guess you can call them. I got these while I bought the set of like nail tips as well, so it has been years. I think it's like 5 or 6 years or anything like that. But then you just want to take your file and just make sure that you hold the tip onto your finger while filing, because it does have like a small little area which is adhered to your nail, so you don't want to put any like extra pressure or anything like that on it. You don't want to like file the nail straight off, you know. But yeah, just make sure that you file it the way you want it. I actually did file it a little bit shorter than the other nails, because I was going to shorten my own natural nails a little bit anyways, because with the gel polish I'm wearing on my right hand, it actually makes sure that my nails are really strong and they don't break at all. So that's why my nails got a little bit too long for my liking, and I shortened them a little bit anyways. But after that, after you have filed the nail tip in the shape and length you want, I actually wanted to make sure that the little line of the tip and my natural nail wasn't that like in your face, and I just wanted to make sure it melted a little bit more into the natural nail, to make sure that when I applied like nail polish or a gel polish afterwards, you won't see that line of that false nail tip. So I just take a buffing block and try to buff it down and smoothen it as far as I could possibly like smoothen it. But then I just took a little Q-tip and some pure acetone and just rubbed that all across that little line to make sure the plastic of the tip would melt a little bit more into the nail area. You don't want to overdo this, because then you might dissolve the glue which you use to adhere that false nail tip. So just take your time, be gentle. As I said, I was working with my non-dominant hand, so it did took me a little bit longer than it would take me if I would be able to do everything with my dominant hand. But just take your time with it, and yeah, after a little while it actually flows into the natural nail plate really lovely. And I have to say, for a first time, I'm actually pretty proud of myself how this turned out for a first time. And after applying a gel polish, it did look like my natural nail, and I actually still have this one on right now. So any tips on perfecting this, especially working with your non-dominant hand and doing this for the first time, is just to take your time and make sure to just smoothen the area and make sure that the nail tip melts with your natural nail. Just use pure acetone and use a Q-tip, because that's more precise than a lint-free wipe or anything like that. Of course, you can use a lint-free wipe if you want to, but for me a Q-tip worked best. So yeah, I'm just rubbing in a little bit of cuticle oil, because my nail and my skin around the nail was really dehydrated because of that acetone and pure rubbing alcohol. But yeah, that's actually how it looks. I'm really happy with it. And yeah, every time you break a nail, it's not a biggie because you can fix it like this. And I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you guys in a next video.